What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys, and of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us anywhere and everywhere at My Cowboys Family, and of course, hop in the Discord links down below in the description box. Baby, do you know what day it is?
It is Fan Friday.
The fanliest of Fridays. Thank you to everybody here chilling, hanging with us. Of course, we have to give the love, the appreciation, the shout outs to everybody here.
Makes the world go round,
representing on
right?
the boards.
Hell yeah.
Before we dive into, of course, our other
a lot
little
of Cowboy news.
pre-stream things, and yes, a lot of Cowboy news and info today. So
let's open it up.
Yeah, I thought
announce
you were
the winners. That sponsor of the week, none other than the Bram Man,
Jeremy Bramlett.
Yes, the sponsor of the week. You see him at the bottom of the board there. Stays on the whole stream because he is the sponsor of the week, and he's one of the OGs here. Appreciate him dropping in, dropping the love, and dropping the victory there for us. I wish our Cowboys could do that. Much love to him. He's also currently the membership gifting champion, the king there. Out of nowhere, he just took over like 3/4 of the board because he also had the stream boss, which, as you can see, MyCowboysFamily has 89 points, and he is currently the boss of the stream. Much love to the man all the way from Hawaii, ripping that star, MyCowboysFamily, who, by the way, is also in the house tonight with Skeptical Fan dropping that $2 a holla in the super chat. I know we also had a Dwayne Broussard drop, the top dog, drop a $4 holler. Why don't you read through both of those, baby, if you could?
Well, Dwayne Broussard said, "Go Cowboys." And Skeptical Fan said, "Go Cowboys." He also said, "I'm here." Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And by the way, Skeptical Fan also gifted a membership pre-stream. Oh, baby, it didn't get to all the pre-stream drops yet.
I had marked something else on that. That's all.
So, but yes, he gifted a membership there. Shout out to 808 Cowboys-77. Appreciate you for showing the love there. Skeptical, sharing the love.
Yeah, and sharing and receiving the love there for Mr. 808 Cowboy. So appreciate you. He's in that navy blue crew, but congrats to him. Appreciate the man staying skeptical, who just dropped another $2 holler on top of that gifted.
And the top dog, thank you, Dwayne, always.
Yeah, so what did he say?
Go Cowboys.
Oh, hell yeah. You know it.
So, of course, as we keep on going and cowboying, there's some people, who...
Yeah, we're going to shout out here. I'm going to give shout outs here in a minute, but I do, of course, we got the Fan Friday shout outs. But as you can see, I think I went through I didn't go through everything, baby, because McLovin is the Muck Man.
No, that's what I thought. That's why I said we didn't had hit some people to shout out.
McLovin is the Cash App King, not one, not 5 times, 5 on it. He's got 5 in a row, a 5-week streak, and right now he is the leader. And that's on that side of things currently. And I think I was saying, the Brand Man, he, had taken over last week. We had some people battling for that top spot this week. I know that MyCowboysFamily is in first place, but not anymore. And I don't know if I fixed that yet. But after last night's, we had some drops last night in the After Dark specials. Yes, McLovin has regained the overall lead. We had Grateful Nomad dropping some love there for some music. Even Jason Renfro trickling in some love. So appreciate you guys on the After Dark. Also, membership people that are back in that navy blue crew. MJ Fowler, Truth Bomb, Chris. And, of course, another gifted membership from Skeptical Fan at the end there to 808 Cowboys. So appreciate everybody in the house. There's a lot of different ways to drop the love here. Super chats. There's gifting memberships. You can jump in the membership on your own. There's 4 different levels. And, of course, there's, the thanks button, which you can do on any video that's been posted. But there's 4 other ways you can affect McLovin's Cash App reign right now. How is that, baby? On top of, I guess you also affect the overall board, of course. But this is specifically, if you drop through the Cash App side of things, there's 4 ways you can make a dent and take the crown on that side.
You have, of course, the Cash App money sign My Cowboys Family, the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family, the regular PayPal link, and last but not least, that Streamlabs link lets your comment show up on screen just like a super chat.
That's right. And as I'm still updating the board, today is Fan Friday, and I'm gonna get you guys know some things here that is coming up
Fan
for the
Friday shout outs. You know what? Actually, shout out to the Navy Blue, the Silver, the Star, the Over Everything. But yes, normally Star and Over Everything members, they get their nightly shout outs here. But yes, once a week, our awesome Silver level membership also gets their weekly shout outs here on the Fan Friday.
So let's get to it.
Thank you very much to Prince Jackson, We have Mr. A. Lavelle.
Yeah, 44 months of domination. That's the longest streak on here. And you can see here the star and over everything shout outs. But that's the silver level. We got the star and over everything as well.
Thank you very much. Skeptical Fan, Dwayne Broussard, Prince Jackson, The Lunatic, Andy Potched, Jason Renfro, LC, and over everything, C. Bass.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate every single one of you guys and all the memberships, including the Navy Blue as well. Again, can't do this without your guys' love and support. And as I double check the overall board, which I do have to do, Mark Hovsepian's listed as the first place guy. I did not update that, so I apologize. Mr. McLovin right now is the inside track to both the Cash App and the overall board. And McLovin, if he somehow takes it back, that'd be 4 out of 5 weeks. He'll be the champ on that sponsor or the overall board there, which is, by the way, the overall streak ever on that is 15 in a row by Mark Hovsepian. And also, I want to also just say, as you can see at the Star and Over Everything level membership monthly jersey raffle at the end of this month, we're doing it. But this time it's a little different. Not just if you're in those 2 levels, but also if you're a weekly winner, you get your name added into the raffle, get a chance to win one of these sewn and stitched Cowboy jerseys, a lot of different styles, players, like 40 different players to choose from. The Mosh Man, great jerseys, great quality. We wear them all the time here, especially game day. So great, great gift, great, award. I guess you could win or a prize to win. And hey, if you don't like the players right now, what's going on, then you can get the old school Hall of Famers, legends. There's all kinds of players here to choose from. So much love to everybody in that Star and Over Everything level and our weekly winners, which Bram Man is one of those weekly winners, and he will be in that raffle with at least one raffle entry. Oh, and there he is. Aloha to the man, Mark Hovsepian.
Woo.
With that J. Lou. Officially, we can still say that. Had J. Lou. $2 holler. What did he have to say, baby? And I also see Skeptical. Oh, yeah, that was the other one. Skeptical Man, I dropped it already. So what did Mark Hovsepian say with his 2?
I had the Jet, but Smith went to the Giants?
Oh, no. He Jets. Jets. New York. The New York Jets. That's the play on words there.
Yeah, the other New York team.
Yeah, they wanted Tyron Smith way back when. I'm talking about like 2018. When we were looking at maybe at the trade deadline moving Tyron Smith. The Jets were dying again, and we held him back. We kept him. And now he's free agent-wise over there. We'll tell you the details, the money, and the way he broke down, also what he said here tonight on My Cowboys Family. So stay tuned, Mark, if you're able to. I know you got a Jet, but he went to the New York Jets, not the New York Giants, just to clarify that. We were gonna disclose more of the info during the stream tonight. So on that note, again, I think we got everything caught up. I will update the board. I'm still updating the board, but Skeptical's in second place right now behind Jason Renfro on the gifting board. And on the overall board, McLovin has a little bit of a lead over Mark Hovsepian. So that battle ensues and continues. Anyways, that's enough for me. Enough for the shout-outs. Enough for the intro. Now it's time for your shout-outs in the chat live here tonight. Who's in the house, baby?
Well, a big mahalo again there. Mark Hovsepian, much love. Dustin Roberts in the house saying, honestly, I'm glad we're starting fresh with new players.
We don't have any really new. We got one new player. One new player. We ain't really starting too fresh right now. We're starting with a lot less, though. Fresh?
Yeah, right now we cleaned the fridge out. We haven't gone to the grocery store yet.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly right now. With the fresh player, I'm waiting for the new players because we haven't gotten it yet.
Skeptical Fan always staying skeptical, of course.
Always.
The top dog, Dwayne Broussard, much love.
Yeah.
Daniel Berry Sports, thanks for being here with us. McLovin, showing the love.
In the house.
Ooh. And we're on Florida time over here, so. Stephen White, thanks for being here tonight. Antoine Scott representing. Let me see. Oh, MCF After Dark. I wonder who that is.
I don't know.
Monroe Gadet, much love. And do want to clarify, no official word that Aaron Rodgers has chosen to retire. I just want to throw that out there. Don't know what the heck he's going to do. As of now, he hasn't hung up his cleats.
No, I don't know where that came from. He's looking at some running as a vice presidential candidate. I can't believe I'm saying those words.
Yeah, who even knows anymore? Yeah. But 808 Cowboy 77, thanks for being here as well. We have Stephen White representing. John Vegas, thanks for being here. Lee Side Herald had to come talk real football.
Of course. He knows where the real football is spoken on the Dallas Cowboys right here.
Xavier Hidalgo, hello and hi. Freedom First. I think you were first today. Good for you. So.
Are we caught up?
Yeah, I think that's everybody here. As more people come in, of course, I'll continue to shout them out. appropriately. So, but baby, yeah, we have so many things to touch on.
Well, let's get it going.
Let's get right to it.
So, we're going to start with, footballish news, but it's about our Cowboys. So we're not going full-fledged Cowboy info updates, although this is an information, some update here on off-the-field stuff for Dak Prescott. Yeah, Dak Prescott today, there's some pictures released. I'm sure he helped. I know his wife released some pictures, but it was also Tad Prescott released some pictures. So here is...
Sounds like they were okay with it, though.
Yeah, of course. No, it sounds like they were ready to unveil their brand new baby girl. And yes, there it is. There's that. Again, the picture to the left was posted today. Those other ones on the right were, I think, either Tad posted them or others. But, guys, Dak Prescott, his girlfriend, Sarah Jane, and their baby girl, MJ Prescott. These are the first pics of Dak's new little family with baby Margaret Jane. Again, you can see there, Margaret Jane Rose Prescott, born February 22nd, not the 29th. They said Thursday, but they meant the Thursday before the leap year. So that's where we got confused. So, again, this was released on Dak and Sarah Jane's Ramos IGs. Again, that Thursday birthday, just to clarify, it was not the leap year date. It was the week before that. It was the Thursday before that, based on this signage and the homecoming images. So, again, most importantly, she's home, like his wife or his girl, his baby mom, I guess. His girlfriend.
Mom and baby seem to be doing well.
Exactly. They're doing well. They're back recuperating, doing well. Dak's helping out, involved, and doing this thing right now as he's fighting this lawsuit out there. So, anyways, there you go. Any quick thoughts on that? Because you can see the C-section, I think, based on that right picture on the right.
Yeah. No, the only thing I was going to say is that is definitely a very big baby. And just based off that picture of Dak and his lady standing together, we know Dak's 6'2", right? Look where her head comes to. Like, guys, if she's taller than 5'2", I will eat my shoe. So
that's like you and I, baby.
Poor lady just
that's
had.
I'm 6'2", and you're
I know
her height.
But I did not give birth to your 9-pound child.
That is true.
So,
almost 9 pounds.
Just saying, that little girl's gonna be a linebacker in the NFL one day if she wants to be. Anyway,
much love, Calvin Richard, with that 5 on it.
Thank you, Calvin. Appreciate you. You know what he said?
Hit me with it.
Finally, no more asking. What are we gonna do when Tyron Smith goes down?
Well, now he's down in a way, right?
Down and out.
He's down and out. So we're gonna talk about the options right now, and the options maybe what should be in the future.
I can't mentally accept that he actually might play on a different team. That makes sense. Like, something about it just
looking in a different uniform is going to be weird. We could talk about that in a minute. Congratulations to Dak, Sarah Jane, his wife, his baby girl.
Yes.
And
thank you. Of Cowboy Nation.
And thank you, Calvin Richard, also, for that 5 on it. We're gonna dive deeper in Tyron Smith very soon, I promise you. So we'll get into that and answer a lot of these questions, maybe prompt some new questions. We'll see what happens. But either way, I just wanted to start off with that. Good news for Dak on the family side of things, and his baby and his girl also, officially out there now. So we wanted to make sure you guys got that info as well. Anyways, Dak's baby, that's great. But we also had another person that maybe have to stay at Dak's house a little more often, Brock Hoffman. And now, not really big NFL news, football news for him, but Brock Hoffman right now is our starting center. I mean, that's who he is. Brock Hoffman released a hype video today, and it was all right. It's just him doing some working out and shit. But the second-year professional, again, undrafted, should compete for the starting center job that Tyler Biadasz has not signed up anymore for. He's at Washington. So, even though he may compete for it, if there's any fucking way Brock Hoffman wins that position and Jerry Jones, you know what he's going to do? Oh, this guy is the best guy ever. He's Travis Frederick. He's Mark Stepnowski. Bullshit. Call him out, because it depends on who he fights out for the job. He beats out a veteran center. That's one thing. If he beats out another undrafted, it's the same old shit the Cowboys do, pumping up a guy who beats nobody out. So let's hold back the Brock Hoffman love until he actually proves something more than just like a game and a half.
I agree. The way I see it, he just needs to, continue progressing so he can be a better backup for us. I'm not sitting here thinking I want him to progress so he can be a starter for us.
And it just feels like the front office wants him and TJ Bass to be like starters. 2 undrafted guys last year's entering their second year. And this is an insane idea for the run game, for Dak Prescott, for Mike McCarthy's offense. and down the line. So, I mean, there better be some more answers as we're starting to miss some pieces. Brock Hoffman is a good backup center, but not a good starter. So let's stop that game. And you look at who the Cowboys may draft. I mean, we talked about center. We also got to talk about tackle today a little bit. We'll do that a little later. But the Cowboys coaches were at some of the pro days. And we talked about they were at Clemson's pro day yesterday. Running back Will Shipley. We're doing very well at Clemson's pro day. He looks sleek, explosive, and speedy. He ran a 4.44 in the 40. And that's a guy you could look at, for the Cowboys somewhere possibly, right, in the draft. So running back, Will Shipley from Clemson, possibility also from Clemson. On the defensive tackle side, Tyler Davis was a guy, got a lot of hype there. Cowboys seem interested. There's another guy from Clemson to watch. He showed a lot of pass rushing skills in his drills. So, again, Tyler Davis from Clemson, defensive tackle. Running back Will Shipley from Clemson. Both had their pro day yesterday. Both got rave reviews from the Cowboys side of things I heard. So keep those names in your mind somewhere. Now, done with that basic Cowboys stuff. The rest of the stuff is free agency tonight. Basically, it is tonight. And possibilities that come and fallouts that come from the free agency situation, whether it's our team or players that went to other teams. Because there's always that possibility, as we know, that, a player leaving or signed for some kind of money somewhere else can affect what the Cowboys do and who they sign next. So, starting off with the NFL news now, generally, we'll start with a coaching move. Mike Vrabel. I know a lot of Cowboy fans wanted him in Dallas.
Yeah.
The Browns are hiring Mike Vrabel, former Titans head coach, as a coaching and personnel consultant for this year. Vrabel returns to Ohio, where he was a standout Ohio State linebacker. So a little more at home there. But, he's taking almost like a little break, but he's still staying as a consultant, but not really coaching. And he's in between there, in the middle area there.
Yeah, could it be just a weird situation where Vrabel's skill sets just don't really align with any team that's looking for a coach type of thing? So the word is owners don't like him. He's too honest. He's too in their face. So there's a way for him to kind of stay in the NFL, and kind of the vibe is still there, but maybe he gets another chance after this, maybe with Cleveland, maybe other places, at least in the coaching side. Obviously, he didn't want to take a demotion. So he's basically like somewhere in between like Will McClay and Mike McCarthy, it feels like, somewhere in that range. So yeah, it still feels like he's being punished for not bullshitting the way everybody else does.
Yeah, and kissing ass of the owners. Either way, a guy that you got to kiss the Hall of Fame ring he's going to be getting is Aaron Donald. The great Aaron Donald from the Rams. Officially today, guys, kind of a surprise for a lot of people. I know it surprised you. He is ending his Hall of Fame career. He is officially retiring. He said, quote, "Cheers to what's next, extending a big thank you to the Rams and all of the fans for your support over these last 10 years. Much love." And then that was it. So that was the official retirement statement by Aaron Donald. He made the Pro Bowl all 10 years that he was in the NFL. Every year. He was a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
8-time first-team All-Pro. Pro Bowler in every single season. That's 10. 2014 Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's Super Bowl 56 Super Bowl champion. One of the greatest careers of all time as an interior defensive player. Really, he could 3-4 edge, but he's an inside tackle.
The consistency that Aaron Donald played with from his first snap in the NFL to his last is hard to consider someone else doing again, especially in this modern NFL at that position. I just,
it'll happen. It might be 30 years.
But congrats, Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Definitely wish him the best in this next part of his journey. But
he came in the NFL. He came in going up in the Senior Bowl, another in the all these battles when it comes to the best of the college players. It was him versus Zach Martin. Hey, it was close, but I think Aaron Donald won a lot of those against the Notre Dame Zach Martin at the time. So one of the all-time greatest defensive players in history, and Aaron Donald, retired today.
Yeah, not many people that can hand Zach Martin his ass.
Yeah, so, remember you said you've seen him play. He's a great player. So another player that is retiring, not so great in the sense of a historic Hall of Fame career, had some good years, Darren Waller. Yeah, tight end Darren Waller from the Giants. Kind of surprising. He was not going to retire. I'm sorry, he was going to retire, then he wasn't going to retire, and now he's retiring again. So, officially retiring for now. Remember, guys, Waller has a lot of issues with drugs in the past, and cleaned himself up, and ended up playing Pro Bowl, years with the Raiders, one of the top tight ends for a couple of years. Giants brought him in for 2 years. And, overcoming all these things in his career and in his life, addiction struggles, the one thing he could not overcome was Daniel Jones as his quarterback and playing for the Giants. A lot of people are retiring, whether it's Joe Looney or Darren Waller. When you get to the Giants, something turns you off, and you're just like, I get the fuck out of here. Saquon Barkley's like, I'm out of here. I'll even go to the Eagles. So,
Yeah, imagine if you rather play for the Eagles.
Yeah, you got to be really treated badly if you want to leave the Giants and you go to the Eagles, shithole. So, either way, any thoughts on that, baby? When it comes to another big loss for the Giants when it comes to tight end position. They made big trade. They made big moves for him, right? Big money for him.
So yeah, like I said, obviously whatever organizational problems the Giants are facing, this is exactly why those things do matter, right? Because when players actively choose to not fight to stay on this team or fight to even be in the NFL because they'd rather retire than play a single snap for you, yeah, I would say that's a problem, especially like you said, they invested in him in a way that, there's no way to get that back, even if you get the money back.
Yeah, you lost some years there in that position.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you lost a piece that you were counting on, that you were expecting to have. Now you got to make moves. Yeah. So
listen, I think I'm making a joke. It's about the Giants. I think it's more something going on in personal life. Maybe, what I'm saying? So we don't really know what the reason is yet, but either way, Darren Waller officially retired for now. He's been going back and forth, so we'll see if that changes. But right now he's retired, a tight end for the Giants and Raiders, of course. Now, speaking of the Raiders, former Raider and Niner quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo being signed by the Rams today, staying on that West Coast and staying in Cali, going to the Rams. NFL suspended Garoppolo, though, for 2 games for violating the league's performance-enhancing drugs policy. So he'll be gone the first. We knew this already, though. He'll be out the first 2 games of 2024 for the Rams, though, as the backup quarterback. So they'll have to get themselves a backup quarterback for 2 weeks, or use their third stringer. Either way, the Rams are giving up. Rams gave the former Raider and Niner Jimmy Garoppolo only a 1-year deal. We're still waiting for the numbers on that, but not sure what those are yet. The Titans, they released an offensive tackle. Their former starter, Andre Dillard, who I think used to be for the Eagles, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, he carried a $10.7 million cap hit. We don't have a tackle. Is that an option for the Cowboys? We'll see. Obviously, it's the money more than it is the player when it comes to Dillard. We'll have to wait and see. The Panthers are not done in free agency. They signed Rams safety Jordan Fuller. So another defensive addition for the Panthers. It's a 1-year deal. It's worth up to $5.25 million for Jordan Fuller. Steelers, they're signing wide receiver Van Jefferson. A 1-year deal to the Steelers. Another weapon for Russell Wilson. Back to the Panthers. They didn't make a deal yet for this guy, but they're hosting former Charger wide receiver Mike Williams. He's visiting next week. Williams was released from the Chargers earlier this week so they could get under the salary cap. But he suffered a season-ending ACL injury. Keep that in mind in week 3. So just saying, I want him. If you're a Cowboy fan, hush up because this guy's been injured. Probably going to be overpriced. Yeah, I wouldn't put anything on that. And if you're the Panthers, they're going to roll the dice with him probably. We'll see. They're going to take a look at him. Steelers, going back and forth to the Steelers here. They also made a quarterback trade, sending Kenny Pickett. Remember, they got Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. They traded Kenny Pickett to the Eagles, to the NFC East as the backup here, in a pick swap, basically. Once Pittsburgh signed Russell Wilson, Pickett said basically he wanted to move on. Steelers get pick number 98 and 2 2025 7th-round picks. So the Eagles giving up, their 98th pick of this draft and 2 next year, basically at the end of the draft. So they're not really giving much up for a backup quarterback. They are giving a top 100 pick for a backup quarterback. The Eagles, of course, they get Kenny Pickett and the pick number 120 from this year. So they basically drop back 22 spots, give up 2 7th-rounders next year, and they get Kenny Pickett. That's basically what the Eagles did. Similar value to what Washington did with Seattle for Sam Howell in that trade that they just did yesterday. So, speaking of, I wanted to say something. This is another kind of perspective here for the Dak Prescott hate crew, the haters of Dak. Listen to this draft class for the quarterbacks in 2022.
Okay.
The first quarterback drafted was a 20th pick, Kenny Pickett. traded. In the third round, pick number 74, Desmond Ridder, traded. Third round, 86th pick, Malik Willis from the Titans, third quarterback for them. Third string quarterback. Also, third round, 94th pick, Matt Corral. Birmingham Stallions in the USFL. Fourth rounder, Billy Zapp. Pick number 137 from the Patriots. He's their backup. Fifth round, 144 pick, Sam Howell, traded. And again, the last pick of the draft, Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy, number 262 in the seventh round. Of course, the starting quarterback for the Niners, and led them to the NFC to the Super Bowl. All right, and they lost. But the point is, look how. I mean, Brock Purdy's basically an undrafted, and look at all these quarterbacks. People say, just draft the quarterback better. Anyone's better than that. Shut the fuck up. You're dumb. Because usually, 95% of the time, the quarterback you're going to try to draft that's better than Dak, it's a roll of the dice. There's a 5% chance, maybe less, that he's as good as Dak. Just remember that before you start bitching. Look at the other fails that's happened in the history of quarterbacks in the draft, and you'll understand that not everybody's Patrick Mahomes and just dominates and is a superstar and is the quarterback of this generation. That's a dream. We missed on Mahomes. Forget about it. All right, we got Dak. He's a top 7 quarterback. Shut up. That's it. That's all I got to say. Now, money-wise, we can complain about and argue about that all day. That's the Joneses making those mistakes more than it is anything on Dak's side of things. The Joneses waited too long to make deals, and now it's costing the Cowboys. And the Joneses and Dak haters are blaming Dak Prescott. It's simple. It's as simple as that. I don't have any extra love for Dak or hate for Dak. I'm just giving you the non-biased facts. That's it. Them's facts. Speaking of quarterback, this is something that's going to affect our quarterback situation. The Vikings today acquired the Texans' first-round pick. The Texans gave up the 23rd pick overall. The Vikings received the 23rd pick from Houston and 232nd pick, which is like the 7th round. The Texans they go back about 20 picks. They take the 42nd pick.
Okay.
They also get the 188th pick. So they got like a 5th rounder, 6th rounder in there. And they get a 2025 second-round pick from the Vikings. So again, to jump up in to jump up 20 spots, 19 spots from the second round to the first, it's going to cost you a second-round pick next year. It's going to cost you some stuff. So, again, Texans kind of stockpiling a couple top 100 picks this year and next year, and then, of course, adding an extra, going from basically 232 to 188. That's a good jump up as well. The only thing I want to keep in mind here, there's two things related to the Cowboys. Number one, there's a new team now picking in front of the Cowboys. Remember, we're 24th. We're the 24th pick. So the Houston Texans, who were picking in front of us, they drop out of that, and now we got the Vikings picking right in front of us. I don't know if that hurts or helps. Either way, that's just a new fact there. Also, the important factor here, how it affects the Cowboys another way, is the Trey Lance trade situation. There's a lot of talk that if Kirk Cousins leaves, which he did to Atlanta, Cowboys will have a path to a trade to maybe get a 4th rounder or 3rd rounder from the Vikings. Well, it looks like the Vikings are trading up to try to get a quarterback of some sort. And what I mean by that, not with that pick, because remember, guys, they now have multiple first-round picks. They got 11th, the pick number 11th, and they have pick number 23. If they package those together and go into the top, 4, 5, 6 spots, they're getting a quarterback. And so the Trey Lance deal is out the window at that point for the Cowboys. Just saying, that's how this trade kind of affects the Cowboys. So they're they have the picks to not draft the quarterback yet, but to create them an opportunity to move up and draft a quarterback, which if they do that, it makes the Trey Lance trade options or possibilities kind of nil. Now, again, that's what I'm trying to say. It's kind of off the table now, guys. The fact that the Vikings remember, they just recently, I think I talked about this yesterday, they reached a free agency deal with another former first-round quarterback, Sam Darnold. Not a great quarterback, but nonetheless, a backup-type guy, right? He signed for a 1-year deal. And he's going from he's going from San Francisco to Minnesota. So the word some people are saying is maybe he's the new starter to replace Kirk Cousins, like Sam Darnold. Not that good. But the Vikings now have 2 first-round picks. Like I said, they can bundle this together and get a starting top-shelf quarterback. Again, like I said, 5% chance that he'll be better than Dak. I'll just put it that way. Which probably means about a 10% chance he's better than Kirk Cousins. So the point here is that after this deal was done with these 2 first-rounders and maybe a move to make another quarterback pick here in the top 10 to get a top quarterback, sneak into the top 3, maybe get the quarterback they want, there's a possibility someone's going to take the 11th and 23rd pick and get those 2 picks and move out of the top 3 or 4 spots. So, to me, if that's done and the Sam Darnold stuff kind of, you put it all together, it just, again, they had interest in Trey Lance. Maybe if they had gotten a more solidified starting quarterback and then Trey Lance would have been the backup kind of situation, or maybe they were thinking Trey Lance would be the guy holding it down until the rookie takes over. Either way, it looks like this is their plan. Sam Darnold is the veteran starter, and then they're going to try to get into the top 3 or 4 or 5 picks and get a quarterback that they want for the future, which means the Trey Lance deal is basically done and back to the drawing board when it comes to Trey Lance and whatever upside he may have. He's, $5 million in the cap? Jerry Jones wants to make this deal. Stephen Jones, they like this deal. Well, now we got to see if he's going to produce anything. He's going to get past the third stringer, because right now he's third string. So we're paying $5 million to him. We're paying Cooper Rush like $3 million to be the backup. So, yeah, we got to get some answers from Trey Lance this offseason. Let's be honest about it. So I just want to touch on that real quick when the Trey Lance situation comes. I don't know if anybody has any comments on Trey Lance or this Vikings deal, but if not, we're going to keep moving because we're almost at our side of things, our Cowboy news here.
Now, Matt Batten said you can get your 4th round pick back. Plenty of teams need quarterbacks and backup quarterbacks.
Yep, and that may happen. That's the thing is that, again, the teams have to pay $5 million. They know that it's only for a 1-year deal, because after this, they got to pay him a little bit more, whatever he is worth. So, yeah, if he wants to get a chance to play out there, we only knew that the Vikings were the one team that was definitely interested. Don't hear any other teams interested in that. So, we'll have to wait and see. But a lot of people are not going to trust a backup quarterback that still needs development and trading a 4th rounder for that guy unless they look at him as, hey, you know what, this guy's as young as some of the rookies coming out now. It's like your own rookie you're getting.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of, I could go either way. We'll have to wait and see. I'm just saying we gotta see if the Cowboys can even make a deal anymore, because that looks like it's going away.
Yeah.
As far as Trey Lance is concerned. So listen, finishing up some other stuff here when it comes to NFL news. A couple last not last second, but last minute things here. Josh Sweat from the Eagles. He is officially restructuring his deal. He was supposed to be traded. He's restructuring his deal with a $10 million guarantee plus incentives. So a maximum of $13 million. Had no guarantees before this. So he got $10 million guaranteed, $3 million in incentives. So basically he gets $13 million total. But it gives him another secure, cool $10 million guarantee no matter what happens, entering another contract year for him. So that's why Josh Sweat's staying with the Eagles, with restructuring the way he's getting paid. Now, I do want to bring up the fact that we talk about some of the guys maybe we were looking at or kind of thinking about. Well, Jerome Baker, another linebacker, which we kind of, we got Eric Kendricks. So the linebacker situation is kind of solved, I think, free agency-wise for us. Jerome Baker's expensive. From the Dolphins, probably $8, $9, $10 million. He visited the Titans, and then he went to also Seattle to meet with the Seahawks today. So he's got 2 teams on his radar in case you're wondering where he's at. I know some of you guys talk about Tier Tart. The nose tackle, defensive tackle, the big guy in the middle there. He's visiting with the Bengals. Remember, the Bengals lost DJ Reader to the Lions yesterday. So now DJ Reader, with him gone from the Bengals, Tier Tart is the guy who's being looked at by them to replace him. A guy that would have been a good fit for the Cowboys as a run stopper. Another guy that I think that, we got to kind of, I'm going to kind of bring in to the mix at linebacker in a way. The Niners, they signed a linebacker. They couldn't sign Eric Kendricks. So they signed a linebacker who was out there, a pretty good linebacker, I must say. Former Packer star, deep linebacker, Devondre Campbell, who's a guy the Cowboys had supposedly taken a look at. A little expensive. I don't know what the deal is, a 1-year deal. But basically, that's the guy. Now that's the guy they're getting to replace Dre Greenlaw. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But, much love. Traveling Fools in the house.
Thank you,
with
Traveling.
His March monthly comment. What did the man say? Sub it up to him as well, by the way.
Smash that thumbs up, y'all.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Traveling Fools.
Appreciate
you. Continue to travel our way.
Yes, keep traveling, fool. Love you, man. Appreciate you. And I know him and McLovin are Dolphin fans. fuck the Dolphins.
No.
Go Cowboys.
No, agree.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. And yes, hit that like button. Marco stepping down.
I'm surprised they aren't endangered species, Dolphin fans.
I know. They when they're good, they show up.
Huh.
Marco Seppian down at 83 points on the Stream Boss. Now, I just wanted to say, baby, so I'm talking about Jerome Baker, linebacker. We kind of got linebacker situation done. Tier Tart, defensive tackle, which is another option for us that's floating around. And I talked about this, the linebacker situation with Devondre Campbell, which went to the Niners because, well, they couldn't get Eric Kendricks. So what I'm leaving you with here is this. The Seahawks, they signed yesterday Leonard Williams. It's a big signing for them. They re-signed him. They're still doing more work. And you know what the work is, baby? They're looking at Jonathan Hankins.
Okay.
The Seahawks. And it's a little early.
Unfortunate for us.
It's a little earlier than I thought that they would be doing this, but they're looking at Hankins. Of course, we know Hankins, an 11-year vet. He played 350 snaps for the Cowboys last year. Mostly an early down defensive player. Recorded 3 sacks with the Cowboys last year. So Seattle is interested in Hankins. And listen, if Hankins gets $2 million or more, he's going to Seattle. Because the Cowboys are going to give him more than 1.5 at best. So now, after the Cowboys keep playing games and let these guys, like Eric Kendricks was going to sign with the Niners, they jumped on the phone. Now they're interested. So now I wonder if they do the same thing for someone like Jonathan Hankins, or will they let him just go, and then what's the plan there? Because that's the big question. If they let Hankins go, he was like our fallback plan. He was like our safety net.
Yeah.
Now what happens if we don't have even Hankins to fall back on? What is their plan going forward? Mozzie Smith and Osa, they can't stop the run. So that is going to be a real major thing to watch for.
We touched on this before. Not saying you can't replace Hankins, but he's not, you still have to do it the right way with, I hate to say it, the right guy. It will be difficult for the Cowboys to replace him on a one-to-one level. Right?
Well, I mean, I don't think so. There's a lot of guys out there that are floating around that do what he does. I'm just afraid the Cowboys won't pay the money for one of those guys unless they're like, who was the guy we signed here from that we brought back as our practice squad guy? I mean, I'll give you the name here, Carl Davis. That guy may be getting a chance, and he's a practice squad player.
Yeah.
That's what scares me. This front office, they'll use Osa, Mozzie, and Carl Davis to run the interior, and that is we're going to get our asses kicked hard on the run if that's our plan. I don't care if we got Eric Kendricks or Superman at linebacker. It doesn't matter because we got to get that interior fixed. And right now, everybody's starting to seep away. I do not like the fact that Hankins is being looked at by the Seahawks. We'll keep an eye on that, and we'll let you know what happens, in the coming days. Hopefully he doesn't sign. Hopefully we got our safety net at least still around. I don't know. That's all I can say. So any other quick comments maybe before I get into Tyron Smith?
Choctaw Montana 808 said, I'll take Jerome Baker over Overshown and Clark. He's a beast.
He is, but he's also probably going to be about $8 to $10 million. You know what that means? Say it with me, everybody. Clown show. They ain't going to do it. I agree. He's a great He's a great linebacker. He's better than Overshown and Clark. The Cowboys will not sign him. They spent their big money on Eric Kendricks. And it's not even big money because I'm going to tell you what that breakdown is very soon here in MCF. Contract breakdowns are very important. It gives you a little insight of why we call these guys the Clown Show. And you'll see what I mean.
So, by the way, Tyron Church thinks that Hankins will be back.
He wants to play in Dallas, so I'm hoping that helps win him over to stay in Dallas. But if someone's going to give him $2.5 million and we're giving him pennies, I mean, I can't blame him for leaving.
Yeah. I suppose so, under these circumstances, right? Drums and Cowboys said, Cowboys should team up Hankins with Kendricks. That's a great run-stopping duo.
I mean, again, we need to get someone in there. Hankins or someone like him or better. But right now, Hankins, look at me, he may be going to Seattle.
So, Dustin Roberts saying, Trey Lance has 5 touchdowns to 3 interceptions and a rushing touchdown in 8 games played, and he hasn't even gotten a chance to develop.
I agree. That's... In Dallas, he's supposedly trying to be developed by McCarthy. Yet the Cowboys are looking to trade him. So we're not gonna judge. I think he'd be a good quarterback. I just don't know when he's gonna bypass Cooper Rush.
Yeah,
and that's a bigger issue in my mind. We gotta see if the Cowboys haven't upped him yet. Is he even ready yet? Is he even developable? I don't know. I hope he is. I know he would. He can be, but the Cowboys are still holding him back. It seems until he's really ready to go.
So. He also throwing out there, Dustin Roberts, saying he's only 24.
Yep, he's as old as most of these top rookie quarterbacks coming from this draft.
So Matt Batten throwing out there, I hope the Joneses do the right thing. So
we'll see. So we know they're not doing the right thing. We know the clown show's not doing the right thing when it comes to Tyron Smith. At least I don't think he is. A few of you guys agree, but I do not. So let's get right down to this. With a breakdown on this, I would say breaking kind of news for the Cowboys, although not the most surprising, because we already had kind of broken off discussions after the scouting combine. 8-time Pro Bowl offensive tackle Tyron Smith is going to sign with the New York Jets. He's 33 years old, expected to go from protecting Dak Prescott's blind side to Aaron Rodgers' blind side. Jets are going to give, listen to this, now here's the money situation. They're giving him a one-year deal with incentives that could be worth up to $20 million. Up to. Now, I don't know what the base is going to be. It could be $4 million, and he has to earn 16, but I don't think so. I think the base is going to be like 15, 16 million with an option to maybe get up to 4 million more or so on top of that. Maybe even he'll get paid more than that.
Obviously, most of us assume a lot of those incentives are tied to playing
staying healthy
and snap percentage.
Right. So we don't know. We don't know the breakdown yet, but I'm planning to have, a lot of incentives that stop him, that maybe 13, 14 million is what he's going to get in that range. And with those injury clauses and such, we'll figure it out. I'm sure in a day or two that'll be announced, and we will definitely at least take a look at that. But
Dallas was never going to pay him.
That's
anything,
the key.
Even halfway close to that.
Right, that's the key. Clown Joe said, hell no to that. And I guess that's what he was asking for, something in that range at the combine. That's why the Cowboys knew it was over with him. So the Jets are getting him that one-year deal, incentives up to $20 million. The Jets' offensive line, their overhaul on their offensive line continues. And they still have the 10th overall pick in the draft in the first round. They could use that on an offensive lineman as well to keep improving it. I think they have Morgan Moses on one side, Tyron Smith on the other side, and now maybe a rookie in the middle somewhere. So that's a real big overhaul there. Again, you got to remember, guys, the Jets have one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. Last year.
No surprise that they're trying to protect their investment a little bit better.
Well, yeah.
If it comes back.
Yeah, and so they allowed 64 sacks last year, the Jets' offensive line. By allowing 64 sacks, that ranked them 28th in the NFL's pass protection offensive line. Their offensive line started 13 different combinations. So I'm going to tell you this to the Jets fans, don't be surprised if you still got a lot of different combinations, because Tyron Smith probably won't be there every game. And if you practice him hard, he'll definitely miss 4, 5, 6 games. So we'll see what happens on that. But let's talk about it from our perspective. When the Cowboys took Tyron Smith, 9th pick overall in 2011, it was the first time the Cowboys took an offensive lineman in the first round at that point since 1981. He was our first big offensive line move in this generation. He made 8 Pro Bowls, 4 All-Pros. Without him, the Cowboys almost have to look. Again, now that he's gone, we talked about this. Is there going to be what's going to happen next? We'll talk about it, but it's going to be a free agent. Are we going to move somebody up on the team?
Yeah.
Are we going to draft someone? Listen to this though. I don't know how much he's making, but he can make up to $20 million. Last year with the Cowboys, he made $11 million between signing bonuses, base salary, and incentives. He made $11 million. That is a great deal for the Cowboys, and that's why he went for a better deal. Somewhere else where he could get almost $20 million, because we've been playing him on a very inexpensive, like a 7-year deal, which nobody really does. Tyron Smith is helping the Cowboys all these years, right? And the only one that was a little more, I guess, to make it up, and the Cowboys said, no, you can now leave. So whether you agree or disagree, guys, I don't know. I don't think that I just had my mindset the Cowboys are not going to sign him for no fucking $17 to $20 million.
When we heard about a week or two ago that things didn't go maybe as well as we initially had hoped or expected or whatever, you know what I mean? That Tyron's side and the Cowboys side were very far apart in whatever discussions were brought up. We all hoped it would go a different way, but we all were not surprised and expected it now that we had that information.
I mean, listen, you can go back to Stephen Jones. What did he say? He said yesterday we talked about this. The Cowboys were not closing the door on a potential Tyron Smith return, and then the next day, boom, he's gone. So what does this mean for the Cowboys? Now, first let's look at comp picks.
Okay.
Because this gets the Cowboys a compensatory pick.
Okay.
Because the Cowboys, again, he played out his contract. We never cut Tyron Smith.
We did not.
So we have an incoming 2025 compensatory draft pick coming in for the Cowboys. And let me just add this to this. Because he has more than 10 accrued seasons, because he has more than 10 seasons in the NFL total so far, no matter what happens, the money, which is a lot, or the time he plays in the field, we cannot get worse than a fifth rounder. But the truth is, with a $20 million possibility deal here on a 1-year deal, and he's going to try to be, I mean, if he plays most of the games, he plays 12, 13 games, that's a third or fourth round comp pick for the Cowboys next year. So the Cowboys are looking at Tyron Smith as basically trading him for a third or fourth rounder is what we're looking at it. That's the way the Cowboys looked at this. But I will say that comp pick is like a disease for Stephen Jones, because ever since, it's probably the worst day for the Cowboys franchise with these two clowns. The moment we heard what a compensatory pick was, Stephen Jones wouldn't stop jerking off to it. So there you go. We get a comp pick for Tyron Smith, no worse than a fifth. I predict a third or fourth. If he stays healthy, he's a third. That's a third round comp pick in my opinion. If he doesn't stay healthy, it's all right, a fourth round. If he's like out the whole year, then he cannot be worse than a fifth rounder for the comp pick in 2025. Tyron Smith on the phone with a quick, with one, I think Josiah Anderson. She spoke to him with a quick little 2-minute interview on the phone on why he picked the Jets, and he was also on the phone while trying to put his daughter to sleep, to bed. So, baby, what did Tyron Smith say in this conversation? Yeah.
He said, I would have loved to have stayed home in Dallas, but as we all know, it's a business and the way it works. I still feel like the Jets have an opportunity to win it, and anything I can do for the team to help them out, I'm going to do my best to do it.
Now, remember, guys, he hasn't spoken to Aaron Rodgers yet, but that's his new quarterback now. What do you say about that?
I feel like it's going to be amazing. Of course, me being with Dallas, he's kicked our butts twice in the playoffs.
Ouch.
So I know what he's capable of. Honestly, I'm just excited about the opportunity.
So, again, that stings a little bit. Reminding us,
I mean, that
Aaron Rodgers
that's fair,
knocked
though.
us, but I know, but he remembers Aaron Rodgers kicking our ass twice and knocking us out of the playoffs twice. So, he also, expanded on some stuff on, how things really came so fast from not really knowing where he's going. All of a sudden tonight, boom, Jets. What happened?
Yeah, if anything, it just lets you know how quickly things can go. Because he said, honestly, this has just been happening for the last couple of hours. So I'm still trying to handle things right now.
That tells me the Cowboy front office just dilly-dallied, didn't even bother. Not that they were going to pay this, but they just don't handle things like a front office seems to should, like a GM should, I guess. I don't know. But now, this is interesting, too. Not returning to the Cowboys now. He said a couple of things. Again, this is what some people are saying. He said that this was figuring to be the case once cap issues became clear in Dallas. And everyone knew he was going to kind of go. So Tyron Smith did finish his comments with, quote, it's kind of like where the chips have fallen for this offseason when it comes to the cap issues for the Cowboys, as you stated. So, again, he's excited to be a Jet now, blocking for A-Rod. But, guys, he's basically saying, self-inflicted wounds. The Cowboys were just basically waiting around. They figured that Tyron Smith would wait around until the Cowboys freed up some money. That game the Cowboys front office plays just bit them in the ass. So, again, even Tyron Smith is calling out to me, the front office, about, basically when the Cowboys, when he said that once the cap issues were showing up in Dallas, and he's referring to the fact that we couldn't make room for him right now, or so, he knew he was out of Dallas. He knew he was done in Dallas because the Cowboys are doing their usual clown show shit.
Yeah, the writing was on the wall.
They were doing their pie's a lie, which we're saying is pie. They're using, listen, Tyron, we only got so much pie. Tyron, we're going to do our best to get you here. Can you take a team-friendly deal with us? Because, we don't have that much pie. That kind of dumb shit from Stephen Jones. didn't even have a chance. And Tyron Smith, he knew it. The Jones were going to play their games. I'm heading out of here. It probably was more frustration than anything because he wanted to stay in Dallas. So once again, this front office, whether you agree or disagree with this move, is irrelevant because Tyron Smith was, again, like we handle most of our guys, handled improperly by the Joneses. Stephen Jones specifically, I think, at this point. So Tyron Smith, guys, he was ready to get out of here after dealing with the front office and them telling him cap concerns. We know every team can make room. No matter what your cap concerns are, every team can make room for the guys you want. The Cowboys didn't want him, obviously. So, what do you guys think about this? Because, to me, 31 teams. There's 31 teams in the NFL right now. There's all kinds of analysts in the NFL that do analyze NFL stuff. Educated fans, I'd say like myself, you, us, you guys in the chat. And we all disagree. Everybody disagrees on the way the Cowboys are handling free agency. It's horrible, the way they're handling this. So, to me, the question now comes this. What do we do now? No Tyler Biadasz, he's in Washington. No Tyron Smith, he's with the Jets. Mm-hmm. So, what do the Cowboys do? So, the question, baby, is do we move Tyler Smith from left guard to left tackle? Do we keep Tyler Smith at left guard, where he could be a perennial All-Pro, and then have to figure out either pick up a player at left tackle or draft a player at left tackle? There's a player out there floating around. I'm hearing some discussion. If you want to replicate a Tyron Smith type situation when it comes to a veteran, David Bakhtiari. He's floating around out there right now. He could be signed like a Jason Peters type signing, a 1-year holdover kind of situation where he's there to help, maybe teach a little bit. He's there to maybe, give the Cowboys one more year, a buffer to draft an offensive tackle. But Bakhtiari's played only 13 games in 3 years. That's 10 times worse than Tyron Smith. And if he was on McCarthy's practice plan, the way it worked for Tyron Smith, that could be a way of maybe extending Bakhtiari's ability to not get injured for a full season a little better. He also has familiarity with Mike McCarthy. Of course, they were together in Green Bay for a bunch of years, Bakhtiari and McCarthy. So that's one option. There's not many offensive tackles left. But the other option could be drafting an offensive tackle, and you have to be a first-round pick. So there's going to be a lot of offensive tackles and linemen in this draft when we pick 24th. Mm-hmm. And again, when you look, here's the thing, guys. The Cowboys have to draft an offensive. Even if you get Bakhtiari, you still got to draft an offensive lineman, or again, have to be a reliable swing starter as a backup for a low price. Kind of sticking with the theme of the way the Cowboys do stuff in the offseason. But here's some names just to throw around for the draft. Joe Alt from Notre Dame. Talisi Fuaga, which the Cowboys actually like. He's also there. You got Olomunyunwaya, I can't say his name, from Penn State. His name is Fashanu, offensive tackle. You got Auburn's J.C. Latham, which the Cowboys did check out, although I heard he got some bad reviews there at the Combine. And then Troy Fatuanu from Washington, the Huskies. So these are the top offensive tackles. And if you look at Daniel Jeremiah's top prospects at offensive tackle, he's got Joe Alt going 9th. I'm sorry, on his offensive tackle list. I think he's got Joe Alt on the offensive line list at 9, Fugata at 10, Fashunu at 12, Latham at 13, and then Futuanu at 17. So these guys are all in front of where we're picking, but you can bet one of them will slip through probably to the 24th pick. Will the Cowboys go there, or will they go inside at center guard kind of situation with someone like Barton from Duke? I don't know, but baby, here's the deal. With our offensive line now, the Cowboys' projected offensive line, left tackle is going to be either a rookie or some kind of free agent, or Tyler Smith. Left guard is going to be either Tyler Smith or TJ Bass. Our center is going to be a rookie, or some kind of free agent, I guess, or Brock Hoffman. That's scary. And then right guard is Zach Martin. Right tackle is Terrence Steele. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I don't like it. There's going to be at least two.
This is the weakest our O-line has looked since we had, major injury situations that forced us into basically putting all backups in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was at least, not intentional, right? That was a reactionary because obviously, unfortunately, we had a lot of injuries in other situations. We're basically actively choosing this current situation, which makes me very not happy.
Just seems like even if we're not going to go with Tyron Smith or Biotish, make some other logical moves here. We haven't even touched the surface, scraped the surface on things we could do with Cowboys. Let everything pass by. How much do they care? I don't know, but there's at least 2 starting spots of the 5 on our offensive line that have to be figured out. And I'm telling you, TJ Bass and Brock, what's his name? Brock Hoffman are not the fucking... They're backups, not the answers. And if you think they're going to play 16, 17 games and they're going to play the same way, you're wrong. They're not ready yet for that. And if they are going to get pushed, they might be okay, but are they going to be enough? Are they going to be the thing that's going to keep this offensive line from letting in sacks and not letting runs happen and stopping the scheme? I can't blame any of the... If the offensive line breaks, I can't blame not another person on this goddamn team. I don't care if Dak's getting $100 million every year. I can't blame Dak. I can't blame McCarthy. I blame the Joneses for not fixing this shit. That's the issue there. So you guys may bitch about the running game or about Dak or about McCarthy. But if the offensive line is fucking up, I blame the offensive line first. Not them specifically, not the players, the front office from not making moves to fix this obvious issue. So making more holes now. We had a lot of holes on this team. Another hole official that we got to fill. Not with Tyron Smith, hoping he comes back. He's gone. That's it. So when you look at the information on our backups, maybe on the guys that could come in there and help us, the depth of our offensive line, you got Brock Hoffman, who started 2 games, only 2 games at center. And it was undrafted, and he played relatively well, but that's only 2 games as an undrafted guy. TJ Bass, he took reps at center in practice, and he did have to come in there at guard at different times in the season, and he played okay, again, pretty well, but no real consistency yet, right? Don't forget our draft pick. Those are 2 undrafted from last year. We also have Awesome Richards, who was drafted at the 5th round, 4th round. He took reps last, in preseason at left tackle. So, do you see any of these guys truly helping out for a consistent way? Because there's other options.
That's what I'm saying. Based off everything that we not only already know, but obviously some of the great points you just brought up there. Yeah, I find it very hard to believe that either one of these guys is somehow going to be ready to be a starter.
Right, and
that just 100% realness, right?
Yeah. And Awesome Richards, obviously he's the farthest from being a starter. He even play a game. So other options, though, I want to bring up one other option that you never know, but don't forget Matt Waletzko. Because I think he's a pretty solid guy, but he's always banged up and injured, so obviously that don't help us. But he's a guy that I would say, okay, he's your backup tackle. I would not put him as our starter. So Matt Waletzko, who missed all of 2023, Josh Ball, who missed all of 2023 as well. I'm really a huge not fan of Josh Ball.
Yeah.
Then you got offensive tackle Earl Bostic Jr., who was an undrafted in 2023, practice squad all year. He's not going to do it. Dakota Shipley, who did play for us a couple times, practice squad in 2023 as an elevated player, but he didn't get on the field. He just was elevated. So This is what we're dealing with. There's no backup to start. But TJ Bass and Brock Hoffman, they're not starters. They are decent backups. Matt Waletzko is a decent backup tackle. And that's it. We got our backup set, and we got 3 starters set. But we're missing the other 2 starters. So we got a long way to go still with this offensive line. I would like to know what your thoughts are, or at least what the chat's thoughts are about this Tyron Smith situation. Some are happy, I should have put a poll up. Some are happy, some are sad, but I think it's the way it was handled is what I'm the most frustrated about, which is not surprising to me, which is sad. Because we're used to this. We're accepting and used to this fucking clown show. The way they do things, even if we knew we weren't going to sign them, they still handle shit the wrong way. They do things the wrong order.
Yeah, Tyron kind of said it. He kind of figured it after he saw our current cap situation. He's
but not because of the players, not because of the Joneses.
This is a business.
But it's because of the Joneses. They manipulate the cap, so we can't sign anyone, which is the Joneses' fault, right? I mean, I think we all agree on that. Most of us agree. It's the Joneses. We got $2 million, but we can have 50, and they didn't bother working on it for 3 weeks. They're on vacation and at some conference. I'm just saying, like, that's our GM. That's our front office. Everybody else is working. They're chilling. That's the frustration of this front office. No matter what they do, if they slip, fall, and get lucky, that happens. We got Romo. We got Dak. We got a lot of players lucky. Thank you, Will McClay. But this front office doing business, they are horrible at GMing, horrible at the business of football, in my opinion. For the most part, unless they get a good deal. They get a good deal, then they want to toot their horns. And I'll tell you about a good deal with like Eric Kendricks. But that's coming in a minute. First, they got to take their shots. And I want to hear what you guys got to say in the chat.
Hopefully I'm saying this right. Tyron Church. He said, Askin is the best lineman in the preseason. So.
Who? Askin?
Is that... I don't know if you mean like asking or if you mean like... Is that a player? I have to be honest. I'm not sure.
Is it maybe?
So is asking. Where's Lyle Collins at?
Maybe it's awesome. He's saying. I'm not sure.
True.
I don't know, but either way, he was not good enough to start. These are not starters. These are backups at best. Sorry, go ahead.
All good. Griffon81 said the track record says they'll hit on the O-line in the first round. So at least with that future move,
I know we're not going to miss with the offensive lineman, right?
I mean, anything is possible, right? But like you guys. They're saying here, history is definitely on our side, and thankfully so is Will McClay still. So yes. I am hopeful.
Will McClay's the only reason we're not like the bottom third of the NFL. We're the top third of the NFL, even if we're not doing much in the playoffs. That's other reasons outside of Will McClay's hands, I think. So, any other last thoughts on the Tyron Smith thing? I mean, we kind of said it all. We can't really do much about it. He's off the team, and that's that.
Matt Batten said this is a choice by Jerry Jones or by the Joneses. The Joneses think we're dumb guys. Yeah,
they do think that you're going to blame the players, and some people do blame the players, not realizing this is a Jerry Jones manipulation. Stephen Jones manipulation. He learned it from Jerry. At least Jerry took some risks. Stephen sat on his thumb and doing nothing, none of the above. So that's annoying. That's aggravating. I hear you, man.
Very.
So, other moves that went down today, which we do have to talk about, because this was the initial... we wouldn't even talk about any of this if this didn't go down. We would have been done with the stream by now, probably. But there were some other moves made, and very important to the Cowboys, but these were things we knew were happening, and that is the release of Michael Gallup. Guys, of course, number 13, wide receiver Michael Gallup, we knew he was going to be released. It was just a matter of when, and it had to be before March 17th, which is tomorrow, or is it tomorrow? No, Sunday, I think. Yeah. So Sunday he would have to been released before that, or we're going to take a hit of $4 million on the cap. So the Cowboys officially released Michael Gallup today. Time with the Cowboys ends after 6 years. He has with the Cowboys 3,744 yards. The Cowboys gave Michael Gallup permission, of course, earlier, a week ago or so, to seek a trade. But nothing obviously materialized. Nothing came to fruition. So he has been if he had been on the roster after Saturday afternoon, $4 million of his $8.5 million base salary would have been guaranteed. A lot of people were saying there was a pay cut being worked out right now. That was an option. The Cowboys and Gallup decided not to do it. So now the Cowboys have I guess you could say, a wide receiver need. I still say Jalen Tolbert would be the guy taking over there. But just so you see, okay, we got the cut. Now, what does that mean now officially in the books? What does that mean? Cowboys have, by releasing Michael Gallup, they labeled him as a post-June 1st cut.
So even though we know about the move now and he's been informed and everyone's on the same page or whatever, it's not going to be 100 million, 10% official until June 1st?
Yeah,
he won't be officially...
Well, here's the thing.
How does that work?
Yeah, let me explain it. He gets cut. Now, officially, he is released by the Cowboys. We don't get the money on the cap back. And I'll tell you what it is. We get $9.5 million on June 1st. That's for just think of it, guys. Think of it as the rookies and the money the Cowboys carried about $5 million into the season every year. We know this. We've done this. Every year about $5 million. You got $5 million plus another $4.5. That's your rookies and what you carry in the season. So we don't have to save money. If the Joneses tomorrow say we got to save money for the future, that's bullshit. They got the money they use for the future already for the draft picks. They got that with Gallup. So that's all it really does. Next year it's going to count against the cap, dead money. This year we have $6 million from Zeke. Next year we have $8.7 million dead cap money from Gallup. So less money to spend next year, but of course a bigger salary cap, much bigger. So kind of makes it up somewhat. Instead of maybe losing 8.7, we're losing 6 million in reality. That comes out to that. So that's a good move. It's all good across the board. But how does it happen? A post June 1st cut means we get the money back, the $9.5 million on June 1st, but it means that Gallup is now allowed to look for another team. So he don't have to wait. He don't have to wait till June 1st to look for another team. So we cut him now. He goes somewhere else. No matter what, we get that money back on June 1st. But we release him by letting him have his options now. But the Cowboys waited so long into this first week of free agency to release him. Now he's got to pick up the scraps that are left over, which could force him back to Dallas if the Cowboys want to pay him a cheaper, if he's not getting more than $4 or $5 million out there, the Cowboys might want to bring him back for $4 million. He might want to come back for a 1-year deal. I'm just throwing out some options. Maybe, I don't know if we need to do that. I'm just saying that could be an option now, and that's partially the reasoning why the Cowboys waited to the last day to cut him. The money we were getting was not going to be used, cannot be used for free agency, not until June 1st. So his cut didn't matter for money. It's other moves that could have been made, like restructures and extensions. So, again, like I said, post June 1st, we get the money back, but he can go look for another team right now, which all the big name guys signed already. So now he's in that third wave, the third level and below of receivers in free agency right now. So again, Cowboys get $9.5 million in cap savings on June 1st for this season for 2024, and pushes the Cowboys deeper into the green, deeper under the cap after restructuring, Zach Martin's contract last year, and I know we restructured. What was the other contract we restructured earlier this week? God damn, I forgot who we restructured. We restructured a couple people and just basically brought everything down to under the cap. It was
a defensive.
Yeah, I don't remember. Either way, though, as it stands, the Cowboys right now will move. Right now, when we get that June 1st money back, we'll have $11.7 million in cap space following Gallup's release and the signings that we did make, which I'll go through that in a minute. So we're basically at $12 million under the cap if you count June 1st right now. If you take away June 1st, you got about $2.5 million under the cap for the Cowboys as of this moment. And so what was the other move the Cowboys made? LVE, guys. Not a surprise. We knew he was going to go with that neck injury. He's going to retire supposedly in the next couple of weeks. But today the Cowboys made the decision to release him. Why? Well, they informed them that he was released, but why? With a failed physical designation.
No surprise.
Yeah, he still got a neck in. He can't play football yet. Failed that physical. That's a way to get out the contract for the Cowboys that he knew was coming. So the Cowboys releasing him. He missed the final 12 games of the year with that neck injury against the Niners. He had his first touchdown the week before that against the Patriots. And then against the Niners, he hurt his neck the next week. And
at least he got to end on a high note.
Yeah, if you see the thumbnail, that's I think that's the touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. If you look at the thumbnail, him there screaming, he has a football in his hand with the touchdown. That was his last moment of glory in football, probably, in his career, unfortunately, for LVE. Hoping the best for him. But now that he's designated for release because of a failed physical, what does that do about the cap now, right? Because, again, 6 years, a Pro Bowl appearance in 2018. He departs after 65 starts with the Cowboys. His existing deal was set to hit the Cowboys salary cap for a total of $4.4 million.
Okay.
So we were, right now, with the cap and everything, the reason why it actually went down some was because, well, right now, when you release someone like LVE, that $4.4 million that we owe right now on the cap that's taking it up, we get back $2.2 million of that with this move. All right? So we actually are, again, we were probably at $1 million or maybe even less. Now we got an extra $2.2 million on top of the million that we had. We got about $3.5 million in there. Let's say $3 million is what we have open, and we got another $9.5 coming in June for Michael Gallup's cut. So right now, guys, the remaining $2.2 million is officially LVE dead money. So we're taking dead money this year hit on LVE, $2.2 million. Next year, nothing. Gallup, we're getting back $9.5 million on the cap, but next year we're losing 8.3 or whatever, $8.7 million on the cap next year for Michael Gallup. Also, guys, I want to make sure I throw this out there because, baby, do you remember the day we drafted LVE? Do you remember that day?
Yeah. How could I ever forget that day?
Tell them why.
Well, guys, if you recall, that was the year that the draft was in Big D in Dallas. And if you guys were around back then, Mr. MCF and I actually went all the way out to Dallas to experience the draft, being kind of in our home area, so to speak, on a team perspective, right? So we were really excited and then very disappointed when the Cowboys made their first round pick.
Yeah, I was not happy with that. You watch the video, you'll know our opinion on that pick. And he had some good years. He had some shitty years, the injury years, which is our biggest issue with him being drafted in the first round, and other guys that I liked a lot better that were sitting right there that we just passed on. So that's the story of LVE from our perspective. But baby, that's the draft. We were there in person for the first. We missed the second and third round, but we were there in person for the first round. We, of course, it was in Dallas. That 2018 draft, guys, we have not one player left from that draft class.
Damn.
Not one. Did we jinx that shit? First round, LVE, gone.
Yeah.
Second round, Connor Williams, gone.
Yep.
Third round, Michael Gallup, gone. Fourth round, Dorrance Armstrong, gone. Another fourth rounder, Dalton Schultz, gone. Fifth rounder, quarterback Mike White, gone. Sixth rounder, Chris Covington, gone. Sixth round, Cedric Wilson, gone. Seventh rounder, Bo Scarborough, gone. Now, again, those are these 9 players, guys, from the 2018 draft. All off the Cowboys officially today. LV and Michael Gallup, the last 2. But I do want to say one thing about these guys. 7 of the 9 players did sign big contracts. I would say big second contracts, either with the Cowboys or with another team. So let's look at that as well. They just didn't last, longer than the 6 years. So to me, this speaks more to the power of Will McClay getting the most out of these guys coming here, even though he can only do so much. He's got his hands tied behind his back with the Joneses holding the money, the money over their heads of what they can spend or not spend. So either way, that completes the moves for the day for the Cowboys, guys. LVE gone, Gallup gone, Tyron Smith unfortunately gone, and that leaves the Cowboys, if you look at our tracker here, with a lot of guys that have left us or are gone. So as you can see, the only addition the Cowboys have made outside of our own team is still linebacker Eric Kendricks, which is going to speak today. I know you have his interview.
Yeah.
He spoke about his feelings. He was just signed. He spoke as he signed with the Cowboys, and he kind of let in some information about his connection with Zimmer. So we're going to hear more from Kendricks. That's a great pickup. Doesn't mean it's a great offseason. It's just a great move, one that we expected at the very least, and it barely got done. The returns for the Cowboys, all, of course, former Cowboys that are getting re-signed. Practice squatter, defensive tackle, fourth string nose tackle, Carl Davis. What a signing that was. Long snapper, our first signing of the whole offseason, Trent Sieg, the long snapper for the Cowboys. Then you got Jordan Lewis, who is our, could be the starting slot corner or a depth slot, our backup slot corner, which is a good signing. We got him for, I think it was a pretty inexpensive deal, wasn't it? I think it was $2.8 million or something like that for Jordan Lewis. I take that. No, I'm sorry. It was the veteran salary. Wasn't it the veteran? Yeah, we only paying like half of that. He's getting like 2.3, but we're paying like 1.1 on the cap. So great deal for us. Good deal for him. That's that 4th year exemption deal the Cowboys got. So we got Jordan Lewis back, and of course CJ Goodwin. He also speaks today. Got his numbers on his deal. Cornerback, safety, defensive back, but he really is he's a special teams ace, a special teams superstar. He is fantastic. I'm still waiting for him to get to the Pro Bowl one of these days. But CJ Goodwin back with the Cowboys in bones, fossil. Now, what about the departures? Tony Pollard to the Titans. 3 guys went to Washington, 2 on defense. Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler from defense, and Tyler Biadasz center to the Washington Commanders. Neville Gallimore to the Dolphins. You see Tyron Smith to the Jets. And then Michael Gallup and LVE. We don't know where they're going to end up with. I'm pretty sure LVE has to retire. Michael Gallup will end up somewhere. Is he coming back? I doubt it. But he'll end up somewhere and, with a much lesser deal. Let's put it that way. And, baby, that is the breakdown of the moves for today. Any comments from the chat on this or from you on the loss of Gallup and Van Der Esch? I don't know if you discussed this yet, but go ahead and throw in your 2 cents, baby.
Well, William Bernie said this looks more like a rebuild to me, and
feels like one.
Yeah, as far as the Gallup and LVE moves, at least those don't fall under what I would consider the rebuild framework. Just because, again, the Gallup move had to fucking be done. We were at least somewhat kind enough to give him an attempt and a chance to find a new home. When it didn't work out, it's like, all right, it is what it is, and obviously the LVE situation is completely different for a variety of reasons. I'm just glad that he is physically just alive, walking, right? Like, his situation was so much worse than just, oh, he's hurt, oh, he has to stop playing. So then we kind of roll it back. By the way, Montana 808, Jordan Lewis, if I'm not mistaken, was in 2017, not 2018. 2017,
that was the first year we did our MCF. He came in the league with us. He came in the NFL as we came in on YouTube.
Let me see. Howard said the narrative that the Cowboys are good drafters is false.
I think the thing is, I think the Cowboys are good at drafting later rounds. I think they're good at picking up undrafted guys. Why? It's really, honestly, one guy, and that's Will McClay and his staff. Mm-hmm. Chris, what's his name? The Chris, guy with the mullet. I always forget his name sometimes. But there's another guy. He is a second stringer there, second in command.
Can't quite remember.
Chris Hall. Chris Hall.
Yeah, right? We both thought of it at the same time.
Chris Hall. And, he does a lot of the undrafted stuff with Will McClay. Will McClay runs this thing. Listen, he also helps out in player acquisition. But who are the people running the top? Who are the people saying, here's how you can spend on this guy or not? Why should you look at a guy that's going to be $10 million when the Joneses ain't going to give him more than $4 million? For a running back, for a linebacker, both those positions, you're looking at $4 million or less if you want to even have a chance. So Will McClay ain't going to look at Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley. He ain't going to look at Jerome Baker. He's looking at, maybe Eric Kendricks, maybe Zach Moss. That's what these guys, he's got no other choice. So he's the one literally saving us from being a lot worse. Trust me on these words. So, Will McClay is holding it down as best he can. And we're not great drafters. He actually might have made a mistake with the Mozzie Smith move, but also wasn't his call to make him lose 35 pounds.
But yeah, sorry, I just want to hit up the chat a little bit more here. Chalk to Montana 808 said, I'm not even mad. I expect this such that the fans asked for it after Green Bay, and they're doing what they asked, and now they're crying about it. I mean,
that's the thing, is like, to me, it's like, they said they were going to go, the front office, though, said, Jerry Jones said, all in. That definition, obviously, you have to walk it back, what the real definition of all in means. I think that's what the fans were more pissed off about. And if the Cowboys let's say the Cowboys are getting Morgan Moses and getting, Zach Moss or, bringing in a couple guys, losing these guys, I don't think it'd be that bad. I don't think the fan base would be as pissed if we were just bringing in good, solid team names, good, solid players. Even if it were a little costlier, bring in the good, solid players. No, the good, solid players, you know who they are? For the Cowboys mindset in front office, you know the good, solid players they're bringing in? Re-signing, extending Dak Prescott, re-signing, extending CeeDee Lamb, re-signing, extending Micah. Those are the 3 big names in free agency for the Cowboys. They've said that. That's what it's about for them. So they're all in is signing their own guys. Everyone else is all in. The normal person's all in is getting whoever and whatever you can get out from your team or outside of your team to win a fucking Super Bowl, putting all your money into that. They said they're not talking about the future money. That's all they're still worried about. So, it's the fact that the front office lied about what they're doing. I think that's the bigger issue than the fans being pissed that we lost and cut everyone, which is also crazy, in my opinion. You don't cut everyone. You get mad, and then you realize, okay, you can still make another run if you make some improvements. Instead, we went backwards as of now. Let's be real. We went backwards, except that linebacker. We went backwards every fucking other place. And that's the way the Cowboys do shit. I can't blame the fans for getting pissy about this shit. I mean, we asked them to go one way, they go the other. They finally go the way we're supposed to go, and they don't fix anything else. I just
make up your mind.
Yeah, that's the issue with this front office. It's big issues. But I want to stick with. Let's move on to happier times now. All right, since we're done with the losses, we knew about the two of them, right? Michael Gallup, Van Der Esch. If that's all I talked to you about today, you guys have been like, cool. We're getting money in June. We're getting a couple $1 million now. We got $3 million, $4 million on the cap open, and we know we're going to get more when we do some extensions and restructures and all that fuck shit that we know the front office can do with just a word. Just yes, do it. That's it. It's done. So that's the way it goes. But let's stick with the newest off the team player, Eric Kendricks. So today, again, guys, you got to remember the official signing came today. One of the key factors in Kendricks signing with Dallas, and he said this, I think you have this in the discussion here, but one of the key facts is that he's going to play middle linebacker for Zimmer, not whatever else he might have been. He wasn't playing. I don't think the middle linebacker for the Niners. Correct me if I'm wrong though. Is it Fred Warner or was it Dre Greenlaw? Because Greenlaw I thought was also kind of like a Damone Clark, and Fred Warner was more of the interior guy, like the LVE. So to me, I think Kendricks knew he was going to have to play a more Damone Clark role there. Here he wanted to play the LVE role, that middle linebacker role. So that's one of the reasons why he said, I want to come to Dallas. On top of course, Zimmer, which we know a hard-nosed coach, but he likes him, and they get along great. He said, maybe, that they've argued at times. I don't know if you're going to talk about this or not, but I heard an interview with him where he said, me and Zimmer went at it multiple times. Nah. And I won some of those, and he won some of those. But now that he's back, he's like, it shows you how much we love each other.
I know,
and care and respect each other.
I'm going to just throw this out there knowing that we know this now. Mm-hmm. Don't get your pennies in a bunch. If some Cowboy players, express...
Can't take it?
Yeah. If they say, I don't like it.
Well, you know what? You know what I'm going to say about that? We're going to separate the men from the boys. And you know what? If we waste the year, we waste the year. But you know what we figure out? The men from the boys. I hear bitching from Mozzie Smith, cut his fucking ass next year. I'm being honest, guy. I know they're not going to cut him, but that's what I would do. If I was Jimmy Johnson, that's what the fuck I would do. You find that you got Zimmer, he will push their guys, and some of them are going to handle it and be better. Some of them are going to bitch about it and cry and prima donna their asses. Get them the fuck out of here next year. That's what I'm saying. Don't know if you guys agree or disagree. That's what I think. I tell you, Micah's not going to be one of those guys that bitch. He's going to thrive off of this coaching. But there's a couple bitches on the team still, and they'll bitch, and you'll hear it, and we'll know. We'll all know. We'll all know together. So I like this. This is a way of weeding out the fucking pissants and the bitches. Yeah. So anyways, look, the deal is this, guys, over there. Oh, that's what I wanted to clarify. He said that basically he would have been used as a weak side linebacker with Dre Greenlaw coming off the Achilles surgery. So he would have been playing that role. And you know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why he wanted to go where he would be utilized where he is best at his age, his abilities, right? He didn't want to be a weak side linebacker taking on huge blocks every time. He doesn't have the athleticness to do that anymore. He wants to be the guy making the calls, reading where everybody needs to go, reading the offense, green dot, and moving guys around. That's what he wants to control the defense. Here he can do that. With our guys, he's in the best position of his life, I think, when it comes to defense. But in San Francisco, he was one of the controlled guys by Fred Warner. So you got to remember, that is a major difference for someone like Kendricks, who thrives much more as a middle linebacker than a weak side linebacker. Kendricks today was scheduled for his physical in the morning. He passed that, of course. Got an A+. No, he passed his physical. And then he signed this afternoon, today. Officially, if you look at our thumbnail here, you'll see him at the moment of signing at the bottom right. Had the little cowboy helmet there. And, wearing his signing best. So much love to, again, Eric Kendricks, part of the Cowboy team here in 2024. So what's the contract breakdown for Kendricks? He got listen to this. I want you to know, I want your opinion on this and the chat's opinion. A 1-year deal, which we knew, for $3.5 million max. That's the max. How does it break down? Signing bonus, $1 million. The base salary is $1.5 million. Which, by the way, that $1.5 is fully guaranteed.
Okay.
So he gets the $1.5. by touching pen to paper, he gets another $1 million. Now we're at 2.5, right? He gets an active roster bonus, which he can get if he gets in all the games. I think it's $29,411 per game. If he's active in those games, not injured. If he's not inactive, if he's inactive for a game or if he's injured, he doesn't get the $30,000. But if he is, if he's active every game, doesn't get hurt, he gets up to $500,000 there. So now he's at $3 mil right there. And then he gets another $500,000, $500,000, if he plays 75% of the time in the season, the snaps, and the Cowboys also have to make the playoffs. We know the Cowboys always do that kind of stuff. When it comes to these deals, they always tie in making the playoffs and incentives, always, along with player playtime as well. So the breakdown is great. Listen. This is where Stephen Jones shines. The only time, because the construction of this contract is perfect because he's the kind of player that's willing to do a deal like this. And again, so $1.5 million he gets guaranteed. He gets the $1 million on top of that signing bonus. $2.5 million is what he's getting. And then the other $1 million is all incentives. All right? Incentives if we make the playoffs and he plays 75% of the time. That's $500,000. The other half is every game he's active, he gets another $30,000. It's up to $500,000. But the bigger number, again, that's $3.5 million max. The cap hit is $2.941 million. So it's under $3 million, the cap hit. So Kendricks only under $3 million, basically $3 million.
Like a $5 bill. I have to admit,
in this new day and age of the cap, right?
So much more excited for Kendricks. Like I was already excited before, thinking we were getting him for more money. I'm even more excited now, knowing we're getting him for such a great deal.
Yeah, I mean you can't beat that $3 million cap hit.
Credit where credit's due. Shout out to the front office for getting this particular deal done in
this
way.
When a player comes to the Cowboys who's a little more like wanting to like a position and desperation for a 1 year kind of hit with the right coach, when that shit hits, Stephen Jones is in his best. That's in his glory right there. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, Stephen Jones is a failure when it comes to contracts. But this is a good one. Under $3 million for Eric Kendricks. And he might not hit the full $3 million. You know what I'm saying? He might not hit that. We might get some cap money back at the end of the year. So either way, Kendricks, I love the deal. I love the guy. He's gonna help us in a major way, I believe. One of the more sneakier picks transactions, I think, in the league. And then after signing, he spoke with the Dallas Cowboys and answered a couple important questions going into this 2024 season with his old coach, Mike Zimmer. And he also discussed why he changed his mind and picked the Cowboys. I kind of give you a quick paraphrasing. Baby, what did Eric Kendricks say on his own himself about these things? The reason why he changed his team. From the Niners to the Cowboys, Zimmer, etc. What did he say?
I felt like it was a really hard decision. The Niners are an excellent organization, a wonderful program that they have there. Ultimately, I wanted the opportunity to play Mike and bet on myself, as in Mike is a middle linebacker.
Right.
I want to clarify that since we have a lot of Mikes.
Mike Zimmer and Mike McCarthy.
Yeah. So he added in there, especially at this point in my career, I have a lot left to prove. I feel great, and I'm moving great. To be able to play Mike with this defense and the guys we have on this defense, it was an opportunity I couldn't pass. I'm very happy with the decision.
Yeah, and then you have to talk about Zimmer and the connection, right?
The level of detail and the amount of football that I learned with Zim was tremendous. I feel like I'll never take that for granted. And that's why I'm back with him right now. Just being at the facility today, it's all becoming real. I grew up playing. It's all becoming real. Yeah, I'm very excited to play. It's obvious the sport I grew up playing. I love playing middle linebacker. I'm happy I'm able to be in Coach Zim's system again. It felt right. He was kind of asked, like, all right, like, how do you feel about, like, Zimmer's particular coaching style?
He's a hard-nosed coach. He's going to get under your skin.
So he said, yeah, I feel like me and Zim have had our times where we've even butted heads. Just the fact that I'm back with him shows you that I believe in him and he believes in me. And we want to get the job done. Ultimately, playing the best football and winning a championship is our ultimate goal. And that's why I'm back with him.
Listen, he's a guy that's going to do his job, and that's what matters here. Great pick for the Cowboys. We got some happiness here. Let's accept some happiness, right? And at the same time, we get to see the Niners cry because they really wanted him over the Packer linebacker they picked up today. So fuck the Niners. But even bigger for us, we don't do reactionary stuff. This is about our Cowboys. This guy is at the perfect position. He's better than LVE. So that's why I say we improved the linebacker. But that's the only place I think we've improved so far this offseason. So linebacker, we're in good shape there. I think that's everything he said, right?
Yes,
is that everything?
Yes.
So Kendricks, any quick thoughts on him from the chat? Because we got one more guy that's going to speak. He's on this list.
Let me see here. We kind of already touched. No, we touched on most of those comments already.
So then let's go on to the two other guys. You see on this list, you see one of the returnees, Trent Sieg. All right, he got signed. Our first signing, but let's go to the contract and let me explain it, guys. So the cheapest you can get this guy for is what we got him for. Trent Sieg, long snapper, contract, is a veteran, is a VSB. Remember I talked about that the other day, guys?
Mm-hmm. Remember how I said we'd have at least 5 on the team?
We got 2 already. Trent Sieg is a veteran salary benefit deal. So he gets a bonus of $167,500, but his base salary is going to be $1.125 million. Only $985,000 of that is guaranteed. You take the $985,000, that hits the cap, and the bonus that he gets, $167,500. You add them together, that is your cap hit. It's not 1.125, it is 1.152. It could have been, 1.3, 1.4, but it's only 1.15. So, and the reason is we save a little bit of this after 4 seasons, I think. In the NFL, you qualify for this kind. This is why Dillon is going to probably stay in Green Bay, A.J. Dillon. Same reason is the same way we got, I think it's our 3rd deal, actually. If I'm not mistaken, I think we got Jordan Lewis on a VSB as well. So it's basically a veteran salary benefit deal at their position, whatever they do. They take their numbers, they come up with the number you get. It's fully guaranteed. Of that, a certain portion is fully guaranteed. And you get a little cap relief if you sign these 4-year or older veterans. Trent Sieg is one of those guys. Jordan Lewis is one of those guys. And so is A.J. Dillon, if you're looking at the Packers and another team. So they get basically a fully guaranteed deal. That's why I'm saying the base salary, the $1.125 million he can get, he's getting, right? But on our cap, it's only $985,000. So again, we save about $200,000. And overall, it is the cheapest way to go on these veteran players that have been in the league for 4 years or more. Same thing goes for C.J. Goodwin. When you talked about Jordan Lewis's was a higher hit. It was like $2.4 million, something like that. But it was actually $2.2 million on the cap is what it hits the Cowboys because it is a veteran salary benefit deal. I explained that in detail literally the day before we did these moves. So go back and watch that video. It's pretty much what I explained already. But C.J. Goodwin is also, if you hear a low-rate guy, like a guy who's a special teams guy, long snapper, a backup kind of guy, usually the Cowboys will pick them up on a VSB deal, veteran salary benefit deal. We got Jordan Lewis on that. We got Trent Sieg on that. We also got C.J. Goodwin on that. His contract with the Cowboys is also a veteran salary benefit deal. His bonus is $167,500. Is always that number. His base salary is a little bit cheaper than Trent Sieg's. His base is $1.21 million. And he's counting the same exact amount against the cap. When you add those two numbers together, it's the same thing as Trent Sieg's contract. It's $1.152 million. So basically, $2.3 million between both of these players. Trent Sieg and C.J. Goodwin. That's what we're paying for both these guys. So, again, for a long snapper and an ace special teams player, this is the cheapest you can get these guys. These are veteran guys. I know what they're doing. I love that as well. I can't complain about that, right? I think we all are happy. These deals could have been done, though, in like a month from now. But we're happy they're done. So, that is kind of how that wraps up on that side of things when it comes to the money situation. But C.J. Goodwin also let's wrap it up with C.J. Goodwin and his special teams ability. He also has some great ability off the field because he went from signing his new deal with the Cowboys today, driving nearly 45 minutes to help cut the ribbon on a brand new Youth Works Mercy Chef's Kitchen in South Dallas. So great. He does a lot of stuff in Dallas. He loves Dallas. He's been with the Cowboys for multiple years. Following Bones there. Bones has been really benefiting from him. They both benefit from each other. And he's a Cowboy. Dallas. It looks like he's a Dallas guy through and through. CJ Goodwin's a great guy, and we're gonna hear from him in a minute.
We always love and appreciate the true blue.
Yes.
Cowboys.
And we also love and appreciate the true blue MCF family in the house, like Jason Renfro dropping that dollar. Boom, holla, boom. Thank you, and go Cowboys. You know what Jason's saying.
Always go Cowboys. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you, of course. And guys, drop your final drops or comments or thoughts here, because we generally are at, on the last.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, we're gonna hear from CJ Goodwin in a minute. I do want to say though, since we just got that drop from Jason, it's been a while since we got a drop in here tonight. Either way, we do this no matter what. Win, lose, or draw, guys. Good, bad, or ugly. We always hear repping it. But Jason Renfro just made a little jump there. Yes, he did on this board. Jumping right behind Stanley Smith, who's in 5th. Jason's in 6th. He's literally right behind Stanley Smith. Jason jumped over Grateful Nomad there. So he's about, like 2 away from going over Stanley Smith and behind Marissa Sparkle on the top 5 board. Much love to Jason Renfro. He brings Mark down to 82 points. Mm-hmm. So as I wrap this up, CJ Goodwin went and did this great job, driving across town for this opening of this kitchen in South Dallas. This kitchen is focused on feeding underprivileged youth in natural disaster areas, locally and also abroad. Okay. So this is what makes Goodwin even more special than his already fantastic special teams play. That he wasn't expecting any media at all. He was genuinely shocked. And also, he doesn't do it for media. You never hear him doing this, but he's doing it all the time. So CJ Goodwin, a great guy and a great part of this team. Not a defensive back, a safety, or corner, but a great special teams player, our leader on special teams, and Bones' right-hand man. We talk about Eric Kendricks, being the right-hand man for Zimmer. Yeah. CJ Goodwin has become the right-hand man easily. He was the right-hand man for every special teams coach, but he is definitely that for Bones Fossil. So Goodwin, he spoke today. He had a little bit to say about his injury. He had a pectoral injury, I think week 5, which knocked him out for the year. So CJ Goodwin now, coming back to the Cowboys, he's going to give an update on that. He talks about Zimmer because he is on the defensive side of the ball, right? So, and he also was, like I said, helping out the community. He's, community is very important. The service to the community is very important to him, and it fuels him. What did CJ Goodwin say about all this?
With our platform, especially being the Dallas Cowboys, I feel like it's our responsibility. We have that responsibility to give back to the community, and it's an honor. We're very, very privileged to be a part of the Cowboys organization and to be able to give back. It's a true blessing to be a part of the Cowboys. And he was smiling real big when he said this, too. He said, I was a Cowboy fan growing up, and I'm living the dream. I've got to pinch myself sometimes when I wake up. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's going to be strange a little bit, but they'll be our enemies at that time, yeah. But we'll talk to them after the game and after we beat them. It's a part of the game. And he's obviously talking about what's it going to feel like facing off against the Commanders when 50% of the team is made up of former Dallas Cowboy players. True. So he did also mention, though, like, hey, before I get to that ass-kicking stage, I have to continue on my recovery journey. Yeah. So the good thing is, not only are we expecting him back, like, by this summer, CJ Goodwin said, hold up, no, I'll be ready to go by the spring. Saying, quote, oh, yeah, I'm almost ready now. Just because he was kind of asked, like, hey, are you going to be on the PUP list, you think, for training camp? He said, I'll be ready by OTAs, honestly. Interesting. It was an unfortunate event, but it's an injury you can come back from. And I'm going to come back from it even better. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so again, to me, he is the guy for special teams to lead. We had a lot of, I know Sam Williams fucked up so many times being the gunner. CJ Goodwin is a knowledgeable person at doing everything on special teams. Punt returns, kick returns, kickoffs, punts. He's a star player.
Yeah, and he's been a difference maker and a contributor several times on big special teams plays. So he kind of added in there the final thing that he shared were his thoughts on what Zimmer is going to be adding.
Yeah, because he has to play on the defensive side. He is a cornerback, so what do you say? Yeah,
you never know, and he had a handful of snaps over pretty much every year he has maybe like 5 snaps at one. But anyway, He said, I think he's going to bring a sense of accountability in regards to Zimmer. I've heard about him, and I think he's going to hold us accountable this year. And that's something we need. As someone who's been around the league for a while, I know that accountability is huge, and I think that could be the thing that tips the scale.
It's incredible that he's almost saying, I'm not saying he's saying it, he's almost saying like Dan Quinn was not really holding us accountable. That's kind of scary if that's the case, and how they did so well all these years, not being held accountable.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I hope, I hate saying this, I hope he's right. Because if he's right, then if he's holding our team accountable on defense and we get better and less penalties, and well, shit, and that makes a huge difference in maybe winning, not just in the regular season, but the playoffs. So that if that's that big of a problem, then Dan Quinn is a major issue in that sense, you know. But again, I have to see it first, you know. So we'll wait and see. But right now, it might be. I don't know. It might be an issue. It might be his. You know, Dan Quinn might be a coach that is just too, I don't say soft, but too friendly with the players, and it's too, like, I'm not going to really blame anyone.
Look, different coaching styles. I'm not going to sit here and start shitting on Dan Quinn.
I know. We have to wait and see.
Being the way that he was either. So.
Well, we did, again, I'm going to say this, no matter how good he is, if he wasn't holding them accountable, I got a problem with Dan Quinn for doing that back even, you know, any of these years, if he was acting that way. If he was holding them accountable, then it's on the players, on some of these guys. Or maybe they don't like the coaching style of Zimmer. Either way, we're going to find out the real and the not real coming up here for our team. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
That does officially
that's everything on my side.
Bring us to the end of the stream. So as I start to shout out everybody here in the chat, before I do, I have to give the love and show the love to the people representing here on the official MCF board of things, right? Sponsor of the week, the brand man, Jeremy Bramlett.
Much love. He's also the gifting champion as well. He had 10 on it last week.
Thank you so much to the brand man. If you look up above, mahalo, Mark Hosepian, bossing that stream around. He's got 82 points. Yes,
he's second place on the overall board as well. So he's almost running things as well. Mark Hosepian, he is second place on the overall board because McLovin is in first place on the overall board, trying to fight it out for that sponsor of the week. Not by a lot, but he is in front of him, McLovin, with the After Dark drops, and also currently the Cash App, not just the king of the Cash App, but the leader of the Cash App. He's got 5 in a row. He's going for 6. We shall see what goes down there. And don't forget, when it comes to the gifting board, Jason Renfro, is he in first? Is he in first place now, or is it Skeptical Fan? Because I thought that Skeptical.
And Skeptical dropped one today, so maybe they're tied.
I think he dropped. Did he drop one yesterday though? No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So Jason's got 2 on it. Skeptical's got 1. That's a battle going on the gifting board right now. So that's the standings. We of course got Saturday, Sunday. We may be off tomorrow here, or a quickie if something major happens. But if it's something small, probably gonna skip it till Sunday and do the wrap up then, and finish off the week. Crown some champions at those times. Whether it's the Cash App King, the overall sponsor of the week, whether the gifting champion, or who's holding it down as the stream boss, we will figure it out on Sunday right here at MCF, My Cowboys Family, to finish up the week. Now, as we're finishing up on this side, let me give the big shout out to those that dropped the love from above, whether it was in the After Dark sessions like Grateful Nomad, McLovin, Jason Renfro After Dark. He did it here too with a little bit of love. Calvin Richards as well. Calvin Richard dropping the 5 on it here. Nice. Skeptical Fan dropping that gifted membership tonight. Dwayne Broussard, the top dog, kicking it off. And also some membership Navy Blue Crew members back in. MJ Fowler, Truth Bomb, and Chris. Thank you all. We truly can't do this without your love on that side of things as well for these 2-hour plus streams, especially during these weeks of hardcore, movement going on and, season-changing possibilities. Unlike for us, which unfortunately didn't happen for us. We went backwards a little bit here. Unfortunately.
We're waiting for that off-season progress still. Jason Renfro saying goodnight with a dollar holler. Go Cowboys.
Maybe saying good morning because,
True.
He's like 2 away or 1 away. I think he's 1 away from jumping over Stanley Smith right now. So much love to Jason Renfro and a Go Cowboys from him. I shouted him out. He dropped a little love tonight as well. Mark Hosepian down to 81 points on that stream boss. Also, maybe, now that we wrap this thing up for the night, I'm going to be back on Sunday. I want you to tell everybody who was in the house today repping that star here. I don't care from another team like Eastside. They're repping the star when they're here because they love them Cowboys.
Oh, yeah. So, Matt Batten, much love. Jason Renfro, Leastside Herald representing. Desmond Iron Man, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Karam Moani Arku, much love. James Waldron, thanks for being here. Yeah, I think Zeke coming back would be hilarious as well.
Yeah, not yet. There's no word, but that was a fake rumor, it sounded like, when it comes to that Zeke talking with the Cowboys.
Madman, much love. We got William Burney repping it. Dustin Roberts, appreciate you. Tyrone Church coming through, of course. Let me see.
Yeah.
We have, who else? Chalk to Montana 808, take it easy, much love.
Yeah.
Raul in the house. Bama fan, take it easy. Michael Haskell, what's up? Keep it rolling here. Just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Griff181, shout out to you. Yeah, that's actually as far back as it lets me go on my side. So with that said, again, a huge and extra special shout out to every single person here representing. Don't forget on your way out, though, hit like, subscribe, hit the bell, follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily. Hop in the Discord, link for that's in the description box down below. And don't forget, guys, again, we really, truly can't do what we do here without your continued love and support. So
that's right,
fingers
guys.
crossed we see you tomorrow. If not, like we said, we will see you
Sunday.
right after that.
For sure, yeah. For sure on Sunday to close it on out. So, baby, I want you to let us know why we do this each and every night here on My Cowboys Family, almost every single night here on My Cowboys. Even in the off season, any kind of the year or season, we're almost always on. I think we were on for like a year and a half straight for a while.
But it's
why do we do this?
Navy blue.
Hell yeah.
That silver too.
Hell yeah.
And that star over everything.
You know it, guys. Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly here. We rep that star over everything. And, of course, on YouTube for almost 7 years, here on My Cowboys Family. Never forget the number one thing here, now, and forever. As always, go Cowboys. Let's get that 6 and beyond. We want 6 and beyond. Thank you for dropping the knowledge in the chat all night long. Everybody doing that. Yes. Mark Frederick in the house. Appreciate everybody here dropping their comments, their thoughts. Need that to really go back and forth and share ideas on our team, on our Cowboys. Also, of course, the drops of love from above. Appreciate all you guys helping out the channel with your support and love. We can't do this without that. On that note, as we clock out and drop out for the night, we lock and reload for another show this weekend. Tomorrow, ? Sunday for sure. Before we can come back and do that, before we can drop out of here for the night, tell everybody what we gotta do, baby.
We gotta drop the beat.
And that's that. It's a wrap here in MCF, My Cowboys Family. Thank you guys, all of you guys, once again, taking time out to chill with us here on this channel. Hell yeah. There's a lot of channels to choose from. You're here with us. Thank you. And of course, I hope you guys appreciated the conversation, the information, and today's wrap-up of our team right here on another MCF Cowboys chat. And yes, Xing out LVE and Michael Gallup. And then we lost, Xing out Tyron Smith. Gone. 3 out. CJ spoke. Number 29, of course, got away to the right there. Eric Kendricks, the newest linebacker for the Cowboys from another team, finally, right? He spoke today and officially signed. Jerry and Steven, though, they got their heads in the clouds. They don't have a problem with Tyron or leaving with all the holes on this team. They better figure it out soon. Here in MCF, it's about that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything. Never forget the number one thing right here, My Cowboys Family. Much love to all of you in the house. Hit that like button for the stream. Hit subscribe if you're new. Hit that bell. Switch it on to all videos so you know when we're going live. Follow us on social media at My Cowboys Family, Twitter, X, all that good stuff. We got Discord, the description with all the information. We'll see you back here over the weekend. Peace out. Much love. Stay safe. Maybe even see you on the After Dark session here and there. Tomorrow for sure. Tonight, maybe. You got to sub it up and put the bell on there too. Thank you all. Have a good one. Peace. And never, ever forget, go Cowboys!